Hello and welcome to This Date in History, aka TDH. This show is all about the events that occurred today in years past, both recognized by actual historians, but mainly things I personally find intriguing enough for me to bring to you. The source of this information comes from the smart device application on this day. The music in the background is Canary by Jim Yosef, which I found on the YouTube channel No Copyright Sounds, aka NCS. For links to the app, music, and anything else potentially interesting, check the underbar. Now let's get on with the show, shall we? Today is Sun's Day, aka Sunday, November 13th, 2016. In 2012, a total solar eclipse occurred in parts of Australia and the South Pacific. In 2001, in the first of such an act since World War II, U.S. President George W. Bush signed an executive order allowing military tribunals against foreigners suspected of connections to terrorist acts or planned acts on the United States. In 1994, in a referendum, voters in Sweden decided to join the European Union. In 1992, the High Court of Australia ruled in Dietrich versus the Queen that although there is no absolute right to have publicly funded counsel, in most circumstances a judge should grant any request for an adjournment or stay when an accused is unrepresented. In 1986, the Compact of Free Association became law, granting the Federated States of Micronesia, the Marshall Islands, independence from the United States. In 1985, Xavier Juarez was sworn in as Miami's first Cuban-born mayor. And not surprising, when I searched for this image, the first thing that popped up was Florida's worst corruption scandals. Oh, Cubans. Also in 1985, the volcano Nevado del Reyes erupted, causing a glacier to melt, which resulted in a lahar, which is a volcanic mudslide. Armero, Colombia became buried, causing the deaths of about 23,000 people. In 1982, the Vietnam Veterans Memorial was dedicated in Washington, D.C. after a march to its site by thousands of Vietnam conflict veterans. In 1974, Ronald D. Feo Jr. murdered his entire family in Amityville, Long Island, in the house that would later become known as the Amityville Horror. In 1970, the Bahala Cyclone, a 150-mile-per-hour tropical cyclone, hit the densely populated Ganges Delta region of East Pakistan, which is in Bangladesh today, causing the deaths of an estimated 500,000 people. In 1969, during the Vietnam conflict, anti-war protesters in Washington, D.C. staged a symbolic march against death. In 1956, the Supreme Court of the United States declared Alabama laws requiring segregated buses illegal, thus ending the Montgomery bus boycott. In 1947, the Soviet Union completed the development of the AK-47, which is one of the first proper assault rifles. In 1940, Walt Disney's animated musical film Fantasia was first released on the first night of a roadshow at New York's Broadway Theater. In 1927, the Holland Tunnel opened to traffic as the first Hudson River vehicle tunnel, linking New Jersey to New York City. In 1918, during World War I, Allied troops occupied Constantinople, the capital of the Ottoman Empire. In 1864, the new Constitution of Greece was adopted. In 1851, the Denny Party landed at Alki Point prior to their moving to the other side of Elliott Bay to what would become Seattle. In 1841, James Braid first saw a demonstration of animal magnetism, which led to his study of the subject he eventually called hypnotism. And in 1002, English King Aeoxander II ordered the murder of all Danes in England. This action is known today as the St. Brice's Day Massacre. First, Jimmy Kimmel, 1967, Neil Flynn, 1960, Whoopi Goldberg, 1955. And that concludes the show. Once again, you can check the underbar for any links you may be interested in. Don't forget to look right and left at every intersection. You can also rate 5 thumbs and subscribe if you do so wish. For your dose of passive events daily, I am Aeoxander. That crazy guy in the background earlier is my dad, and you are you. Toodles!